Hi, I'm Eddie Griffiths and I'm the High School Partnership Officer at Manchester United Foundation. Today we're in Media City, UK to record a special series of our Student Voice project that'll be running throughout the year. I'm joined by Imaan and Nadine from Levenshulme High School, and today we're going to talk about a number of topics regarding our daily lives, some common themes in society and how we can level up our society as we are. So, a big welcome to you two. How are we?
Pretty good.
Feeling good?
Yeah.
Yeah? So tell me a little bit about yourselves. So what year group you're in, kind of what things you're interested in. I'm going to you, Imaan, to start with.
Okay, I'm in year 10, and I think one of my favourite things that I'm most passionate about is my performing arts groups, my classes and everything, drama, music, drop my language to take drama and music. I really enjoy, being on a stage. I was like the lead role in my last year's performance, which was like,
Oh, that's amazing. No, that's brilliant. Really, really good. Nadine, I'm going to come to you. Could you say your first name when you introduce yourself as well, please?
My name is Nadine. I'm in year 9 and I really love sports. I'm kind of not into the performing arts. Yeah. I'm more of like sports. I go to a club every so that's 5 hours a week of sports I do. I go to cricket, basketball, dodgeball, football and netball. I also am like a sports leader in school and I'm fluent in French, Arabic and English.
That's amazing. And I've seen you got a very impressive collection of badges. Talk me through it, just 4 of them.
My first badge I was in year 7 and I got Park's house captain. All these bronze badges are from different leadership groups I've completed. I got these 2 badges from National School Sports Week. And all these badges are just related to sports.
I was about to say, I don't think you're very sporty. I don't think you're sporty enough. I mean, no, that's amazing. That's really good.
Thank you.
So, again, one of the topics we are going to be speaking about today is about anti-bullying. So it's anti-bullying week. You guys were sharing before about your kind of some of the things that the school's been doing to support anti-bullying and bullying, because we know it happens, right? Statistics will say that a quarter of British pupils will be on the receiving end of bullying more than once a month. Which is a lot. Yeah. You know, if you think about how many pupils you've got in your school, just a quarter of them are on the receiving end of something quite hurtful more than once every 30 days, which isn't great. And I think we can move in the right direction to try and support that. One thing being is obviously anti-bullying week. So just kind of share your thoughts and feelings on what your thoughts are on anti-bullying or bullying as a whole.
Okay. I think bullying, well, for me, the definition of bullying is like the continuously, intentionally hurting someone, whether it's physical, mentally, emotionally, or even online. And I think the impact, the effect of it, it's a lot worse than people can think. I think when you say something hurtful to someone, it's a joke to you, it's banter, but on the other end of the line, you never really understand, or you never see the bigger picture, you never see or think about the effect that it will lead to someone else. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I think also that bullying can come in different forms. There's verbal, online, physical, and there's many more, but I think there's a lot of, like you said, people might think they're just having a laugh, but they don't realise when they have crossed that line and how they have made that person feel. So I think they need to just maybe think before they say, but I don't think that really happens a lot.
There's a limit to banter.
Go on. And I completely agree. I think in certain groups where you're wanting to be the person who either makes people laugh or be popular or, again, engaging in groups, it can very quickly turn into someone where an individual or a few people are on the receiving end of something which you think can be quite funny. And again, there's no maybe hurtful idea behind it, but actually on the receiving end of it, it can become quite nasty to be on the receiving end of it. And there's almost like a bit of a blurred line, isn't there, between that? Have you experienced that at all, or is it something that you've seen, or is it something that you?
I wouldn't call myself a victim of bullying, but I will say that there are some situations where I feel like the jokes that maybe my friends make, they don't realize the effect that it has. Sometimes, you do deep it a lot. You do, go into the depth of what they actually meant. Like, was it really a joke, or were they coming from, a true point about you?
Yeah, and that's so. you mentioned then about the effects of it. What are the effects? And you don't have to be too personal about you, because
Yeah.
I can understand it might be quite, emotional. But what are the effects of bullying?
Many people who have been bullied and like about a certain thing, maybe about their appearance or how they act or what they're interested in, it kind of really cuts deeper because that's something they're passionate about. And when you hear that people are making fun of you, you start second guessing. Once you go home, you really overthink it, and then like you can turn up the next day and completely change yourself for them, and you're just trying to please them. So yeah.
Yeah, and absolutely, the biggest gift in life is that we're all completely different, aren't we? We're all unique.
Yeah.
We've all got different things that we like, dress differently, look differently. That is the complete beauty of the world. And then if someone changes that because of what someone said or how someone's acted, that's really a shame, isn't it? And it's not quite, and I don't think it's absolutely right at all for people to do that. So what would your advice be for people who are being bullied, or if you've seen it or heard it or you know it's there, or even if it's not, what would your advice be?
I would say
Go on, Nadine.
I would say do speak up about it. Don't keep it inside because it can make things worse. It can lead to worse effects. So definitely do speak up about it. But if you are not comfortable about it, maybe speak to someone like maybe a close friend, or just find a way to like tell your teacher about it if you're not comfortable.
Like adding on from Nadine, I think that there's always the option of speaking to someone you trust, whether it's a trusted adult, a trusted friend. You always have that one option where you can speak to someone, no matter like about whatever it is. And I think that if you are speaking to a teacher, then that teacher does have to, they have to keep in mind that what you're talking about, it's important, it's relevant. So the things you do say, it might have to, be reported out of what you thought. So if you thought that your conversation with the teacher was going to be confidential, but if it's really important that the teacher thinks that you're in some sort of danger or something, then it must be reported to someone outside.
Absolutely, and that's why schools are fantastic places, because there's systems in place that enable all pupils to be safe. Yeah, and obviously their well-being is at the forefront of what all schools do. And that includes then people, disclosing things about bullying and things like that. Schools are designed so that they try and do things to make sure it doesn't happen and put things in place so if it does happen, there's consequences. Just tell me briefly some of the things that your school are doing to try and counteract or try and support the awareness of bullying in Levenshulme.
Okay, so because it's anti-bullying week this week, yesterday there was an odd socks day where you'd like come in your odd socks and you can make a donation if you want. All the teachers wearing like different coloured socks, students were as well, and it kind of highlighted how unique we all are in our own different way, and it kind of made us all feel like happy. Everyone commenting about each other's socks. Yeah, it just made you feel really happy. And we also do have a voice box near each pastoral office for each year group where you just share your thoughts and put your comments in. So, yeah.
And as well as that, we have well-being rooms and well-being teachers, people and rooms dedicated to, just going in there to have a talk and everything, just saying what's on your mind. And, yeah.
Nice. And do you think, again, big question, do you think it's working? Do you think it's there to try and encourage the awareness and the understanding around bullying?
Yeah, I think so.
In some circumstances, yes, but I think the voice box isn't properly working.
No.
It's a great idea, I personally believe. Good idea, but I don't think it's working properly.
Okay, go on. Then how do we get better? Because we need to, because like statistics will say that the harmful effects of bullying stay with people for a while. So 50% of people 55% of young people who are a victim of bullying will go on to develop some form of depression, which is really serious, okay? And I think it's understanding that continuous unfortunate fact that bullying happens in schools is something that we need to continue doing better at. And great to hear the things that are happening, but how do we get better?
I think to get better at this voice box is the reason why it's not working properly is because of the anonymous. we have done, like, the voice box is done in a way that it's anonymous, so you can put anything in there, and if you don't feel comfortable sharing who you are, you just keep it anonymous and don't put your name down. But I think many people have taken advantage of the fact that it is anonymous and been putting bad comments there because they feel they won't get caught doing it.
Yeah.
So I think maybe putting your name on the piece of paper, like, if you do have a proper, like, thought you want to share, would be a good idea. But some people going through, like, a really hard time don't feel comfortable putting their name down. They like that sense of comfort knowing that nobody else knows. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Anything else?
I think with the voice box again, raising the level of, like, how anonymous it is, because, you know, it's anonymous to the students around school. Like, nobody can just open the voice box and have a look at what people are writing.
Yeah.
It's only there for the teachers to see. And so if you write a genuinely serious comment and you add your name to it, then the teacher can, you know, speak to you one-on-one instead of other students finding out about it. And I think that would give some students a lot more security and comfort in knowing that, you know, it will be addressed to you personally instead of as just a general, yeah.
No, great point. And again, you're two very powerful people in terms of your opinions and your thoughts, which is fantastic. So what advice would you give to people who are either bullying or being bullied?
Know the length of your consequences.
The boundaries.
Yeah, know the boundaries. If you think that you're making banter, really, like, understand it from the other person's point of view. You know, think about whether they would view it also as banter, and yeah, just make sure you're aware of the effects that what your words would say have.
Yeah.
I would say also, take to the bully, think before you do say, because you might just think, like, you're having a laugh and you find that funny as a joke, but you don't know, like, what that person does when that person goes home and that person thinks about it really hard. That can, like, lead to a lot of really bad effects. So do realize, like, the boundaries and make sure you don't cross the line. Think of yourself, like, if someone said that to me, would I like that or not?
Absolutely. And I think society as a whole, we need to be kind to each other.
Yeah.
We have to be kind to each other. We have to celebrate differences, and we have to embrace all of our uniqueness, and therefore part of that is celebrating it and being kind to each other, and therefore stopping hurtful or hateful things that can be said, and understanding that being empathetic can be really powerful. Putting ourselves in other people's shoes and feeling how other people feel, I think, will make the world a better place as well.